Today we're going to be reviewing the party game and cooperative game, Spaceteam. It is a very simple game and actually is very straightforward, so let's go ahead and get into the contents here. When you buy Spaceteam, you get a box, a relatively small box, with just a few contents within them. Some of the contents that you have are 90 total cards. You have a 5-minute timer. 24 of those 90 cards are tool cards, 45 of those cards are malfunction cards, 15 of those cards are anomaly cards, and then the final 6 cards are what they call Systems Go cards. And as you flip through, you'll notice that the tool cards are in a blue color, and the rest of the cards have an orange back. And that is because when you start divvying up the cards, each player is going to have a certain amount of tool cards, and then a stack of basically all of the other cards. So as you can see here, I'm preparing a game of, say, 3 players, and so I'm stacking up all the tool cards into 3 equal stacks. And then, of course, each player would then receive a stack of anomaly cards and that sort of thing. So the reason why that this is set up this way is because when we get to the gameplay section, you're going to need each player to have a stack, essentially, of tool cards and a stack of these orange cards. Now, to begin the game, each player is going to look at their tool cards and use their tool cards to get through all of the anomaly cards. When you're going through the deck, you're trying to get to the Systems Go cards and try to obtain all 6 of them, revealing them, placing them into the middle of the table in order to win the game. So you need to get through whatever cards are on top and keep on working through the deck that you have been given until you find all of these cards. Now, because it's being randomly shuffled, you don't know. You could have potentially 3 of the Systems Go cards in your deck. You could have none of the System Go cards within your deck. So it is completely random based on, of course, shuffling, and it is in the best interest of every player to try to get through their deck as fast as possible. Now, of course, when you go through your deck, you're going to run into different types of cards. You're going to run into cards that are anomalies. You're going to run into cards that require you to do some fixing. So the different kinds of cards, for example, the one that I'm showing in front of you right now states that you have just discovered that you are actually a robot. And then there are going to be specific rules to you now that you must follow because you're not a human, you're actually a robot. Then on top of that, you have the malfunction cards, which the one that I am showing to you has some images on them. And the images tell you what you need. Sometimes a card has only one tool that you need, and then other times it has multiple tools that you need. Sometimes it's a specific tool that they need, and then there are times where it can be any tool within a particular subclass of tools. And how you know which subclass of tools it is, it's in the top left corner of the tool that is there. Now, the game only lasts about 5 minutes because that is what the timer is. You either win before the timer goes off as a team, or you lose as a team because of the timer running out. I think that when we think about the audience or the gameplay part of it, to me, it feels like it's a game that is especially good for those who are just party type players and want to make the game finish the game quickly, if that makes any sense there. They're not really interested in necessarily sticking around for the game very long. And so I think this is a great entry game for people that maybe aren't really big into board game style play and getting them interested in it. It's also great because it's cooperative, so it's not quite as competitive compared to other games if that is an issue amongst the people that you usually play board games with. The one downside that I have for this particular game is it does feel repetitive, meaning that after you played it one time, you kind of already know how the game is going to go into the future. I believe there are expansion packs that can bring more variety to the game, but with many of these games, it just feels like a very repetitive style. So if you like that quick 5-minute similar feeling every time type of gameplay, then this shouldn't be too big of an issue for you. But if you're a person that's really big into like a very deep gaming experience that can be very different from one gameplay to the next, this may not necessarily be the game for you. But then again, as I said in the beginning, it's more of a party game compared to a deep strategy or a game that is meant for people who are very ingrained into the board game niche, I guess you could say. So I would give this game maybe like a 3 out of 5 for me. I enjoyed playing it at times, but it's not probably a board game that I'm going to reach for really quickly when I'm thinking of a board game I want to play with friends, if that makes sense. If you've played Spaceteam, go ahead and let me know in the comments what you think of the game. And thank you for watching this review.